Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 7th December 2024. So let us see the important articles which appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. Okay, first see the title guys. Amid high inflation, RBI keeps repo rate at 6.5%. So what is the keyword? Keyword is repo rate. So where exactly you can see this topic in your syllabus of your UPSC? So as I said, the keyword is repo rate. So it is important from your economy, from GS paper 3, and directly UPSC can ask question regarding interest rates. So it is one of the interest rates that you will be studying in chapter of banking. Okay. So let me explain you what is this concept of repo rate in a very easy manner. So you know that we have RBI. So RBI is Central Bank of India. Okay, Central Bank of India. So we are also having other banks. Okay, we are also having other banks in our country. So whenever these banks, they are approaching RBI to get money. So whenever RBI is giving money or lending money to the banks of the country, so on this money, so these banks need to pay interest rates. So without interest rate, even RBI will not be lending money to the banks. So that interest rate is called as repo rate. Okay, and here you will be also studying about another concept, that is RRR, reverse repo rate. Reverse repo rate is exactly opposite to this concept. So whenever RBI is borrowing money from the banks, so on that money RBI will be paying interest rate. That interest rate is called as reverse repo rate. So this is very important concept, and you will be getting directly prelims based question regarding this. What is this reverse repo rate and what is this repo rate? And here you have to know about what is the significance. Now if you go back to this article title, it is saying that we are having a very high inflation in the market. So whenever inflation is there, okay, again one more concept you have to see. Whenever there is inflation, so inflation is nothing but there is increasing of prices of goods and services in the market. So this concept is called as inflation. So whenever inflation happens, to control this inflation, RBI will be taking measures, and also our government of India will be also taking measures. So what are the measures taken by RBI is called as monetary policy measures, and government of India measure is called as fiscal policy measures. So in this monetary policy, here there will be changes done by RBI regarding interest rates. So what happens? It will be increasing this interest rates. So why there is increasing of interest rates? Whenever interest rate is increasing, then what happens? Banks will be having less money. So whenever banks will be having less money, obviously it will be decreasing the loans. So that it want to control money supply or liquidity in the market. Money supply is also called as liquidity. So to control this money supply or liquidity in the market, RBI will be increasing interest rate. But if you see this article, it is saying that despite of high inflation, RBI is not changing repo rate. That means no increasing of interest rate which is done by RBI even though we are having inflation. So this is the thing which mainly said. And what does this fiscal policy? Fiscal policy includes two important things. First one is taxes and second one is public spending. Public spending. So what happened in this inflation condition? It want to control the money supply in the market. We have to decrease the money supply. So there will be increasing of taxes and public spending will be decreased. Okay, so this is about monetary policy and fiscal policy. And now why it is in news? Because yes, we are having inflation, but RBI do not take any steps of controlling of this inflation. So it keep this repo rate same. So this is the thing which mainly said. And here now let us analyze why the steps had not been taken by RBI. Why RBI is not interested in increasing of interest rate despite of this inflation. So this is very important. And even you have to see some other dimensions from this article. So other dimensions like what is this inflation, you can see that. And you have to see the different types of inflation. So normally we have three types of inflation. That is demand pull inflation. Second one, demand pull inflation. And next one is cost push inflation. And next one is built-in inflation. So we have three types of inflation. So demand pull is nothing but whenever there is increase in the demand in the market, obviously the price of the product is increased. And cost push is whenever there is increasing of raw material cost. That will obviously leads to increasing of input cost. Obviously that will leads to increasing of price. And next one is built-in. Because of changing of lifestyle of people, there will be increasing the demand. That will leads to inflation. So actually now this article is saying that there is increasing of cost push inflation. That led to increasing of input cost of the production. So whenever there is increasing of input cost, obviously that will leads to cost push inflation. So this is the one important primary reason for this inflation now. And next you have to see about what are the measures taken. I already explained this. Here you have to see about monetary policy and fiscal policy. And you have to see what is the impact of this inflation. So tell me what happens because of this inflation. What will be the impact on economy? There will be decreasing of demand. Demand of goods and services will be decreased. And whenever there is increasing of price, purchasing power, parity of these people will be also getting decreased. Then what happens? There will be decreasing of economic activity in a country. Obviously leads to decreasing of economic growth. So from economy point of view, you can write 4 points from this impact of inflation. And tell me from society point of view, what will be the impact? So from society point of view, because of decreasing of power parity, the consumption of these people will be decreased. So whenever the consumption of these people will be decreased, it will be having impact on overall health and increasing of malnutrition, increasing of hunger, right? And if you see from governance point of view, if there is inflation, what happens? If the people hunger, malnutrition is increasing, then government spending should be increased regarding the social sector scheme. And even government aim of addressing this or achieving the sustainable development goals will be delayed. Okay, so in this way you have to see impact from the different point of view. Okay, now let us see this article. RBI Monetary Policy Committee maintained repo rate at 6.5% despite of high inflation and downgraded growth. Okay, so in this 2024 to 2025, even the estimation of this inflation is very high. So here, obviously, to control this inflation, RBI need to take some steps under this monetary policy, but it is not taking. So this is the one cause of concern now. And if you see the retail inflation, it is 4.8%. So why? Because of increasing of food prices. So why there is increasing of food prices? Because of adverse weather. So this year we had El Nino. So what is this El Nino? Is it good for Indian monsoon or bad for Indian monsoon? It is bad. So we will be having normally less rainfall during this El Nino. And what happens? So because of changing of weather patterns and climate change, unseasonal and untimely rainfall that had been happened. And especially because of even cyclones, also it had been impacted a lot. So there is increase in number of frequency or increase in number of cyclones formation happening in both Bay of Bengal and as well as Arabian Sea. So because of this also it is having impact. And especially onion prices, tomato prices and even vegetable prices very high in market. So because of this it is ultimately leading to this increasing of food prices. So here now Monetary Policy Committee of RBI, which is especially focusing on balancing of price stability and as well as we are focusing on growth, and even we are focusing on cash reserve ratio. So what is the CRR concept? So banks need to deposit some amount of money with RBI for how many days? 7 days or 15 days or 1 month? So what is the time period for this CRR? Sujna? CRR. So banks need to deposit some amount of money with RBI. So what is the time period to be maintained for this CRR? 14 days. Okay, so RBI came up with a decision to keep this repo rate unchanged, which reflects that it is committed to curb inflation while monitoring the growth of our country properly. And even our central bank, that is RBI, is focusing on long-term economic stability. Okay, and next one here is, if you see the projections of inflation, even 2024 to 2025 also, we are expecting there will be high rate of inflation, especially in case of food categories, because of untimely or untimely rainfall or weather patterns or climate change. Everything will be impacting our agricultural productivity. And because of that, obviously it will be having impact on consumer confidence, and as well as there will be decreasing of spending of people. Okay, and even government want to take some liquidity measures, especially RBI, like CRR as well. So what is CRR? I explained that. And next one is, because of weather and as well as geopolitics also, there will be some impact on inflation for sure, because India is dependent on many countries for its needs, for its goods, etc. For example, you can take crude oil, we are getting from other countries, and even technology we are getting from other countries. So because of this, what happened, it will be having obviously impact on inflation in our country. Okay, so that is the thing. So just to see about this repo rate, I already explained you. See this beautiful image. So what is this image? Can you see something there? Is that a lake? So which lake is that? So at least identify. The famous lakes only will be there in news. Yes, Dal. So it is the image of Dal Lake. So in which state we have this? Okay. So actually, why this Dal Lake is in news? Can you expect? Yes, there is a cold wave like situation which happened in Dal Lake. So what is this cold wave? Okay. So the key word here is cold wave. So opposite to this, we have heat wave. Okay, tell me about what is this heat wave? What is this heat wave? According to IMD, what is the number which is given to declare any area as a heat wave? 45. Next. 35. How many days happened? We studied this heat wave, I think 3 to 4 months ago. What is the number in plains, coastal areas and hilly areas? 30? 30, 35 where? Hilly? Uh, what about then plains? So in the same way, IMD also gave some number to declare that area as under cold wave. So you have to see both of them. So tell me, during which season we can see this cold wave? During winter season, and heat wave during summer season. So in which part of our country we can see this heat wave and cold wave? 40, 37, 30. Okay. It is 40 degrees centigrade, 37 degrees centigrade, and 30 degrees centigrade. And in which area we can see this heat wave formation in our country? Normally southern part, but even in some areas of northern part also they declared heat wave, right? Because of changing of climate this year. Okay, so this cold wave normally seen in this Himalayan region. So now, especially in this part, northern part, they are having this cold wave. So can you guess like what will be the temperature to be declared any area as a cold wave? At least guess. Cold wave. At least guess. And even some parts of southern also, they declared that they are having or experiencing this cold wave now. So you have to say about what is this cold wave, and you have to see the definition of IMD. And you have to see what is the impact of cold wave. Tell me what is the impact of cold wave. Impact of cold wave. I want both positive and negative. So impact of cold wave, guys, fast. Negative is nothing but, tell me. Accidents, okay. What happens because of cold wave? We impact on agriculture, tell me. Crop loss. Next, health. Health of the people will be getting affected. Next, what about economy? Yes, slow down. Next, why slow down? What about sports? So we will be having some sports which will be depend upon snow, ice. That's tourism sector. What about tourism sector? Tourism sector will be boosted in this region because of having of snow and ice. Next. Okay. So see here, cold waves are unusual weather occurrences caused by extremely low temperature, especially at the near surface atmosphere. At the Earth's surface, whenever we are having very low temperature, that condition is called as cold wave, and their duration ranges from several days to a few weeks. And actually, IMD defines this cold wave based on the temperature thresholds. For plains, if it is less than or equal to 10 degrees centigrade, it is called as a cold wave. For hilly regions, it should be less than or equal to 0 degrees centigrade. Okay, write down this. It is very important. For plains, less than or equal to 10 degrees, and for hilly regions, it is less than or equal to 0 degrees centigrade. So do you know about some facts regarding this Dal Lake, right? So already many times we discussed this. So just see some important things. So tell me what you will remember if I say this word Dal Lake. Okay, jewel of? Next. Okay, floating gardens called as Rad. Very good. Next. It is famous for housing boats. Next. It is surrounded by Mughal time gardens. Next. It is also very important tourist site. Next. It is also second largest lake of Jammu and Kashmir. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, see this article. No card, no work. MGNREGS deletions hit rural workers hard. So what is this article talking about? No card, no work. MGNREGA. So what is this MGNREGA is about? MGNREGA. So what is the full form of this MGNREGA? Okay. So okay, can you tell me some important provisions of this scheme? How many days of guaranteed work? 100 days. Okay. In which areas? Rural or urban? In only rural areas. So which kind of work they will give? Skilled or unskilled work? Unskilled. Okay. So can you tell me some examples of works which are provided under this MGNREGA? Construction. Next. Construction of what? Okay, dams. Construction of schools, hospitals. Next. Also planting. Next. Road development. Next. So that will be also creating assets to the village. So whenever we are creating assets, it will also leads to empowering of villages. So many people, they think that because of this MGNREGA, just they are providing employment in the rural areas, that too unskilled works. But on another side, they're also focusing on development of villages. So in the development of villages, that will leads to obviously empowering of villages, so that we can make them economically stable in the long run. Okay, so here this article is saying that many people's job cards had been cancelled. So if they're not having job cards, they will be not getting employment opportunities. So now tell me what will be the impact of deletion of job cards? Loss of employment opportunities. Next. Loss of employment opportunities. Next. Okay, livelihood opportunities will be lost. Next. Okay, unemployment will be increased in these rural areas. Next. What happens because of unemployment? There will be also migration of people. Next. Come on, tell me. Next, next. Okay, change in food habits. How? Okay, limiting the resources for food. Next. Increasing of poverty further. Yes, increasing of hunger, increasing of malnutrition. And what will be the impact on SDG, Sustainable Development Goals? So which sustainable development goals can be affected because of this cancelling of job cards? Okay, zero hunger, zero poverty. Numbers, please. SDG 1 talks about zero poverty, hunger. 2, next. Well-being. 3, next. Employment comes under? Employment? Yes, 8, decent work and living. Next. Come on, think. 1, 2, 3, 8. Education. That will be affected, right? Next. If the people, they are not getting money, they will not send them to schools. They will also take them along with them to work. In this case of migration, that will lead to socio-economic problems again. Everything is interlinked. Next. Okay, sustainable citizen communities. How? What is the number? 11. Next. Next. Decent work. Uh, uh, in urban areas, slums. That that not comes under here. SDGs. Huh? I didn't get you. Inequalities will be increased. Yes. Increased inequalities. Okay, you have to see the list of SDGs will be get affected by this MGNREGA, and once again go through these provisions. Okay. So see here, deletion of job cards from this MGNREGA has been severely impacted rural workers in India. See the number. Around 84.8 lakh workers they are getting affected because of cancelling of job cards. So why there is cancelling of job cards? What might be the reason, guess? Okay, linking of Aadhaar card. Next. So because of this linking of Aadhaar cards, what happened? 84 lakh, the number is not a small number or minimal number, it is a very huge number. So what happened because of linking of job cards with Aadhaar cards? So what are the duplications had been there? Huh? Yes, fake, okay, fake documents can be removed, or fake cards can be removed. Next one is duplication can be removed. Next, deaths, death, people who had been died, okay, those numbers can be removed. Next. Okay, if they are not utilizing, their card had been lost. Okay, next. Okay, let us see here. So what happens because of this deletion of job cards? There is economic vulnerability. There are some society or some people that just depend upon this engineering. If those people are losing, this means it will be leading to their livelihood loss, and even it will be very difficult for their survival as well. So especially for that kind of people, government need to come up with the policy reforms. So why, if you do, you know what is the salary or what is the wage that will be given under this MGNREGA? It is a very very minimal, right? So what is the number, do you know? Huh? 650 per day. 250. Okay. But now, so if they go to any other work, how much they will get? Above 500. But why government is providing this scheme with a very minimal amount of money? Because only the targeted people, that is especially if they don't have that, even that opportunity, they will not survive. So only for that people government came up with this scheme with a very minimal wages. But even though this scheme is highly misused, Yes, this scheme is highly misused. So you will be getting a case study regarding this MGNREGA also. For example, if you are a district collector, like you identified that many people they lost this job cards because of this duplication of the fake cards, etc. And people are doing protest before your office. And what are the steps that you are going to take to convince the people? Frustration. Okay, so here let us see exactly what is the reason behind the deletion of this cards. So as per Schedule 2 of this MGNREGA Act of 2005, a job card can only be deleted under specific or well-defined conditions. So under this act, even they gave the correct things or the detailed things like when this card can be deleted. The first one is permanent migration. So if a household is permanently relocating from the connected Gram Panchayat, so from that Gram Panchayat, he went outside and he is permanently migrated to any area, then his card will be or her card will be deleted. And next one is duplicate job cards. If job card is found to be duplicate. And next one is forged documents. If a job card was issued based on any forged documents. And next one is reclassification of area. If Gram Panchayat has been reclassified as a municipal corporation, then it comes under urban area. It will be not coming under the rural area anymore. So the people who had been enrolled, they will be losing this job cards. And next one is other valid reasons like any duplicate applicant or any fake applicants, or whenever they are not willing to work, if they are not coming and not doing work, even though despite of having the job card, then those will be deleted. So these are very, very important. So what will be the implications of deletion of MGNREGA job cards? The first one is it will be violating right to work. So whenever we are deleting this worker's name from the job cards on the grounds of not willing to work, so not willing to work is one of the provision under that MGNREGA Act directly. But if government is deleting the job cards under this grounds of not willing to work, it will be denying the workers legal right to work. And next one here is inconsistent procedure. So official reason of a village become urban used for deleting job cards of only some workers, it contradicts the act stipulation that all jobs in an urbanized area must be deleted. So whenever we are converting any small gram panchayats into municipal area, so if you are deleting it, is it a problem of the people? So people didn't ask it to convert that so and so area into the municipal, so that again their right is getting violated here. And this one is absence of verification. So many workers were victims of wrongful deletions without proper verifications or without proper analysis, without proper valid reasons also, many people they lost their job cards. And next one here is there will be huge impact on vulnerable people because of there will be increasing of rural unemployment rate. And next one here is the data also indicates that there is increased deletions which aligns with increasing on the focus of Aadhaar based payment system. So nowadays they want to integrate technology as well. So they want to go for proper attendance by using applications. So actually the problem here is in many rural areas they don't have proper network connectivity, and even the people who are working continuously they will be also losing their fingerprints. So if they are losing their fingerprints, if they need to give the fingerprint for attendance, if that so and so machine is not recognizing the fingerprints, again their right is getting violated. And even in many areas there is no internet connectivity as well, so the app will be not at all working properly. That is also one important problem. And even Aadhaar based payment system, so like many people they don't have Aadhaar even. So because of this, if they are not linking the Aadhaar with their job cards, again they will be losing their job cards. So these are the some impacts which are given here. And say this article, Center to develop 4 new tourist destinations in Jammu and Kashmir with help from World Bank. Yeah, what is this article? Tourism. Okay, is that tourism good for a country? Can you tell me some countries' entire economy is based on tourism? Maldives next. Sri Lanka next. Okay, is that good? Like if any country is entirely dependent on tourism as its economy, why? Because what is the reason? Okay, like COVID-19 pandemic which had been impacted a lot on this tourism sector. Okay, so let us see this topic called as tourism. So actually this article is saying that with the help of World Bank, we are going to develop 4 new tourism sites. 4 new tourism sites in which area? Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so now we have to talk about 2 important things. First one is why only Jammu and Kashmir, and next one is what is the impact of improving of tourism. Okay, so now let us talk about this topic, like what is the impact of tourism is. So whenever we are boosting tourism or government is taking steps to enhance tourism, so how it will be useful? Okay, we can create local employment next. Okay, we can increase GDP which is contributed from this tourism sector. Next, can we attract foreign currency? Yes, we can attract foreign currency. Can we attract investments in this area? Next, investments can be increased. Next. Yes, we can develop infrastructure. Next. Yes, we can preserve our cultural heritage. Next. We can preserve our cultural heritage. Next. Any other thing can you add? Arvind? Hmm? Okay, we can address poverty in this area. Okay, next. Localization. So whenever we are developing tourism, so can we also improve our local crafts? That means traditional industries can be developed. That means can I add this word revitalization of traditional industries? It is very important. Revitalization of traditional crafts. Next. So whenever we are revitalizing our traditional crafts, can we get access? Can we get increased market access to that so and so goods? So that can we also increase our exports there? Can we also import our exports of that local crafts to other countries? Because other country people are visiting our India. Whenever these people are coming and there will be the exchange of knowledge. So because of this exchange of knowledge, we will be going for even exporting of our local crafts to the other countries. So these will be the advantages of tourism. And now tell me why now only in Jammu and Kashmir? 4 sites, why only in this place? Huh? Okay, you can see the location of Jammu and Kashmir. So it is very rich in scenic beauty. And next, if we are going for improving of tourism in this area, obviously we can improve, as you said, infrastructure. Infrastructure improvement leads to obviously development in this region. So whenever development in infrastructure is happening here, can we address this issue of conflicts here? So we can decrease conflicts. Next. Yes, we can also decrease migration. Next. So especially why we are developing these areas in this Jammu and Kashmir is to control violence. Especially to control violence and to establish peace and security and to improve local employment and local economy in that region. So this is the main reason why we are going for development in this Jammu and Kashmir, okay? Yeah, so if you have any points, you can add there. So now Jammu and Kashmir government in collaboration is World Bank. So what is World Bank? Again, World Bank, when it was established? 1940? After Second World War. Second World War ended in? Okay. So after this World War II, we had Bretton Woods twins. So which are those twins? One is WB, World Bank, and another one is IMF. So why we came up with this establishment of World Bank? What is the reason behind the establishment of World Bank? To provide loans. Next. Only loans. What happens if World Bank is providing loans? Development. Next. I want exact words. So why IMF came into existence? What is the reason behind this IMF? So what is the function of IMF? Tell me at least. So recently Pakistan and Sri Lanka approached IMF. Deficit, I want exact word. BOP, what is this? Balance of payment crisis. If any country is running out of forex reserves, if it has to pay for its imports, so they are not having any forex reserves. At that time, the last sort here is they will be going to IMF. So will IMF give the loans free of cost? They will ask something to do. What are those something? Like changes, reforms. So did India went to IMF in which area? 1990s. So at that time, what IMF asked in return? LPG reforms. What is LPG? Okay. So why now World Bank is trying to help India? What is the reason? Because we are asking. So why now World Bank is trying to help India regarding development of tourism sites? So is it costly to develop these tourist sites? Yes. Okay, now why Jammu and Kashmir is going for collaboration with the World Bank to develop 4 new tourist destinations? So what is the interest of World Bank here? uh, uh, Indus Treaty. Mm. Yes, to decrease the conflicts between India and Pakistan, we have to go for development in this Jammu and Kashmir, and even World Bank brokered Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan. So this is the one historical reason that we can connect. So if something is happening, it will not happen now, newly. So there will be some historical link. Okay, so we have to see that link so that you can understand that in a smooth way. Okay, so you have to remember about these 4 tourist destinations. So first one is Kokarnag, Baradari, Badavar, and Doodh Patri. So here you can get a question like, consider the following places in which state we have this. Or else you will be getting question like, recently 4 new tourist sites had been, they are going to developed with the help of World Bank. So which are the following? So in this way also you can get question from this area. You have to remember those 4 regions. So first one here is, whenever we are going for development of new tourist destinations, it will be boosting local economy and even attract more visitors. That will be creating the jobs in tourism and related sectors. So it will become a major economic driver in this Jammu and Kashmir now. And next one is, it will be also promoting of local handicrafts. So we are also going for preservation of our culture and heritage, and we can ensure our traditional crafts and arts. They will be also thrive in this modern development. If government is not giving any boost for this traditional art or crafts, so will we can make them survive? No. So this arts, traditional arts and crafts will be die if they are not getting any boost from the government, or if they are not having the demand in the market. So here this part is very important, that government needs to provide some support for the making of our traditional art and craft should be alive. And this one is, yes, it will be also helpful for ecological sustainability, and we can also achieve this United Nations Sustainable Development Goals like peace. Okay, whenever we are going for development in this region. And this one is, obviously, as you said, because of this tourism, we can also improve our infrastructure here. And next one is, we can also increase awareness about Jammu and Kashmir and its rich culture, heritage, etc. And even it will be having long-term benefits, like we can ensure natural resources are preserved for the future generations, and even we can enhance this community engagement in boosting of tourism in this area. So say this article, silica scarce, mine workers need early diagnosis and treatment of silicosis. What is it word? Silicosis. Contamination of silica. Okay, so especially people, workers who are working in this mining, they will be having this disease called as silicosis. Okay, you have to see this article, it is very important. So actually this article is saying that India's mining industry driven by growth aspirations, especially workers who are working in this mining industry, they are exposed to this silica dust. So because of this, whenever they are inhaling this silica, it will be get deposited in our respiratory system and it will cause a disease called as silicosis. And even have you observed, like whoever working in this mining industry, their nails will be like very, very black because of deposition of the silica dust. Okay, so it will leads to, as I said, a chronic lung disease despite of regulations, and many cases of the silicosis they go unreported. Even the people, they don't have proper awareness regarding going to hospital and checking up with this disease and using of medicines. So there is a negligence by employers, and as well as there is misdiagnosis by the healthcare providers. So actually in our people who are working in industry, we have different industrial codes, right? So even that so and so sector need to be taking care of occupational safety of the people who are working there. But here many industries in this mining sector, they are ignoring about this providing of safety measures to the people. So this is one example. So here this article is saying that there is lack of awareness about the dangers of silica dust among the mine workers is alarming now. So many people who are working in this mining sector, they are having this problem of silicosis. Why? Because of lack of awareness, and there is also delayed medical attention. And next one here is, even we have this occupational safety, health and working conditions code of 2020, but these provisions, they are not properly enforced. Okay, so this is also one important problem that we are having. And even there is no proper data collection. So if we are not having proper data collection, if we are not having the proper data, can we take the proper steps? So this is also one important problem we are having. And even there is misdiagnosis of the silicosis, especially healthcare providers and other robust diagnostic framework, they are not accurately identifying the silicosis and providing the correct treatment for the silicosis. It is also an important problem. And because of this, now NGT had been involved, and it said that yes, we have to take some steps regarding this so that we can protect the rights of these workers. Okay, so that is the thing. And see this article, building on the revival of manufacturing sector. So what is happening in our manufacturing sector? Are our core industries working well? So which are our core industries? Funds, 3C, fertilizer, electricity, refineries, natural gas, steel, next coal, cement and crude oil. So we have 8 core sectors. So what is happening in these sectors? The growth is increasing or decreasing? Decreasing of growth. What is the important reason for decreasing of growth? Yes, there is increasing of cost of raw materials. That means there is increasing of input cost for this industries. So that is the important thing which mainly said here in this article. So here the first one is, India's manufacturing sector is experiencing a revival which is driven by production linked incentive scheme, which has significantly boosted up output and as well as job creation. So here annual surveys of industries, which is saying that 21.5% of growth in manufacturing output is happening despite of increasing of input cost. So here this article is saying about success of PLI scheme. So what is this PLI scheme? Production linked incentive scheme. What is the scheme says? So if you are increasing your production, you will be getting more incentives or more help from government sector. So that is called as PLI scheme. So already you know that there is large uncertainty that is happening because of climate change and because of geopolitical tensions. For example, you can take Russia-Ukraine crisis, Israel-Palestine issue. Because of this geopolitical tensions, what is happening? There is increasing of cost of raw material. So because of this increasing of cost of raw material, obviously there will be increasing of input cost. So despite of increasing of input cost, so our manufacturing sector is working well because of this PLI scheme. So just see about some facts regarding this PLI scheme. Okay, so these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class and please do share this class to your friends, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. Don't forget.